times a day. And to do that, she urgently needs water. Unlike the ant colony, she doesn't have a store to fall back on, so she must leave her family and venture out alone. This land hasn't received a drop of rain in 2 long months. She's got her work cut out. The survival of her kittens depends on her. Rain. The storm doesn't last long, but it's enough. A bobcat will gulp water for 5 minutes straight. The tiny kittens are anxiously waiting for Mom's return. About time, too. Now, they can get a drink at last. Fully revived, they're back to what they do best. What little they know of the dangers of the desert.
And now the lizard plays her trump card. A female horned lizard guards her buried eggs and is keeping a lookout for anything that might interfere with them. A western patch-nosed snake, and she won't stand for it. The patch-nose is no match for this kind of aggression. Her eggs are safe, for now. Another predator, a coach whip snake, and this species is a lizard eater. And she can tell the difference. The snake is too fast for her to outrun it, so she makes herself look larger and taller. And now the lizard plays her trump card. The snake isn't accustomed to prey that does this. One very confused snake. Now she can return to guard duty.
When snakes grow, the outer layer of their skin does not, so they outgrow it. Because of that, snakes periodically shed their skin through a process called ecdysis. Usually a few days before shedding, the eyes of a snake turn milky blue and the body color becomes dull. It is caused by a secretion of fluid between the old and new outer skin layers. To help in the shedding process, snakes often seek out rough surfaces, like rocks or wood, to help rub off the old outer layer of the skin. If the conditions are suitable, snakes typically shed their skin in one piece.
The sand surface can reach a scorching 70 degrees Celsius. This pompilid wasp is unfazed by the heat. And with sensitive antennae, she can detect creatures hiding in the sand. No longer than a paperclip, she will move over 2 buckets of sand to unearth her victim. A golden-wheeled spider. The wasp's sting will paralyze. The spider's bite is lethal. When these desert gladiators clash, the spider rarely comes out on top. But it does have an amazing exit strategy. out of the wasp's range of vision, and out of danger. Almost.
Rides a broomstick. There are a dozen different species of mason bee in Britain. Most nest in holes, but this one, the two-coloured mason bee, prefers to rear her family in snail shells. Many of those, of course, are still occupied. She needs help. Glowworm larvae are is hungry. The meal may take a week, but once it's finished, all that is left is an empty shell. And that is perfect for the bee. She sets about filling it with pollen, food for her young when the egg she lays inside hatches. Using tiny pieces of rubble and glue made from chewed up leaves, she carefully seals the front door. And her last trick is extraordinary. There are 250 species of wild bees in Britain, but this is the only one that rides a broomstick. She's collecting hundreds of dry grass stems to hide her snail shell nests. About a third of our food comes from plants pollinated by bees, but due to habitat loss and use of pesticides, wild bee species are in decline.
They take all of it. For black ants, just finding food is a mammoth expedition. They must navigate thick jungles and traverse vasts. Back home, there's a colony of 5,000. They've become aphid farmers. They don't eat them, though. They tickle them to make them release drops of honeydew. But amongst the flock, there is a wolf. Ladybugs are aphid predators. The ants counterattack with powerful jaws and a spray of formic acid. But there are some aphid killers even an army of ants can't beat. They will have to
Now she can return to guard duty.
When snakes grow, the outer layer of their skin does not, so they outgrow it. Because of that, snakes periodically shed their skin through a process called ecdysis. Usually, a few days before shedding, the eyes of a snake turn milky blue and the body color becomes dull. It is caused by a secretion of fluid between the old and new outer skin layers. To help in the shedding process, snakes often seek out rough surfaces
a bobcat, with double trouble. Twins. Her kittens are just a few weeks old and totally dependent on her milk. Mom needs to feed them 4 times a day. And to do that, she urgently needs water. Unlike the ant colony, she doesn't have a store to fall back on. So she must leave her family and venture out alone.